First child, you think, oh my God, okay, we are going to take care of him, everything. But then when it came to this, it was very, very difficult to accept. We were not able to go for therapies. We were not able to seek help from school. We were not able to take help from anybody because
it was a whirlwind of emotions that ran through us. We really didn't know what to do. The work stress plus the stress of the child now, it was all too much for us to handle.
Hi, I'm Neha, and I'm a mother of an autistic child who is 8 years old. Parenting is a very, very difficult journey, and being a parent to an autistic child is difficult yet very rewarding. We have been on this journey for the past 6 years, I will say. Before that, we did not know about it. We were not sure about it. We did not know about it. And thinking about it, thinking about our past, it's been very, very long. It has been very, very emotional. It has been very, very a topsy-turvy journey for us. Now, we got to know about him being on the spectrum when he was about 20 months old. And you can imagine my plight, my first child. First child, you think, oh my God, okay, we are going to take care of him, everything. But then when it came to this, it was very, very difficult to accept, of course. We got to know when I was in the park. This was, again, as I said, 6 years ago. This was in the park. My child was playing in the sand, and I was calling out to him, and he would not respond. And this friend of mine, she said it very clearly. She said, I want you to just, tell me a little bit about it. What is happening? And I said, happening, what is happening? I don't know what you're talking about. And she was the one who pointed out that there is something amiss in the child. And we realized and we thought about it. I spoke to his father, and it was very difficult for us. We thought about it. But then when we got to know about it, my friend very clearly said, you need to see a doctor. You need to see somebody because there are things which are missing. There are things which are going to be, I don't know how to express it to you. She said those very clearly. Those words were very clear. But then when she used the word autism, we didn't know what, I mean, at least I did not know what it meant. And it was really difficult to absorb, really difficult to understand what was happening. And as every parent goes through it, we went through denial, we went through emotional stuff. We didn't know how to tell anybody anything, how to tell our parents about it, how to speak to anyone who would know anything about it. We were very, very scared. How would people respond to it? Because this is something new for us. We were very, very disturbed by it. But as and when things happen, it's fine. I think we all have to overcome our fears, and we did. We did overcome those fears. We did overcome those denials, and we decided we are going to see the doctor. We went to see the doctor. We went to developmental pediatrician, and there she did tell us there are red flags that he's not really developing as he should be, as all children do. That was a point for us where we had to really think what is happening with our child. The doctor said we cannot specify till the age of maybe say 2.5 what exactly we can do for the child. Which therapies should we go in for exactly? What will bring the improvement? But they were very, very sure that 2 therapies which would really help us, we would begin with music therapy and with OT. Those helped us. They really did help us. But again, we started reading more after that because we did not know anything about it. As I said, I was not sure. My husband did most of the, he went through a lot of, he researched, he checked online, he met a few people who could really guide him. We had no guidance that time because we had nobody in our circle who was going through the same thing. We had no friends to look up to. We had nobody in the family to ask how to go about these things. So this is when we went along with what the doctor said. Go in for OT, go in for music therapy. That is what we started with. And we were very happy with all the changes that came along with it. He did remarkably well. He understood things. He started understanding things. He started looking at things. He started pointing at things. He was making good progress. Next came education. Education in the sense putting him into a school where he would be more stable. He would enjoy things. And we did look for a school. We found a very cozy little play school for him. He really enjoyed there. He was there for some time. But then COVID happened. And when with COVID came another set of problems, another set of challenges, and those challenges really did scare us a little because many things were new. We were not able to go for therapies. We were not able to seek help from school. We were not able to take help from anybody because we had no contact with the physical world. During COVID, we had a new set of challenges, and those challenges included very very difficult sleep patterns because the children were not moving out. There was no time. There was no place to play. It was only in the house. We were struggling with the sleep patterns. He would wake up in the night at 2:30 and he would sleep at odd times. It was becoming difficult for me to understand how to go about it, how to help him there. But then again, we overcame those challenges because we figured out certain ways of handling it. And those ways were maybe listening to music, calming him down, dancing with him, many other things that you can do at home, and channelizing his energies. There were very very different ways of increasing his vocabulary as well at that time. It was a big challenge because if you're not meeting the outside world, you're only talking to parents at home, you're only talking to your grandparents at home who are there, limited people you're in touch with. Your language only grows that much. But putting him into those situations which we could get outside, birthday parties or any other parties, weddings, they were not there. Those social scenarios were not given to him. So we started trying different things at home. And when we did that, it helped us. I remember very, very clearly. My son, he he would walk, but he would fall a lot. But with OT, things came to him very, very smoothly. He runs around like anything, and this is very, very clear in my mind. I remember when at the OT center, he saw this treadmill out there, and he was so fascinated by the buttons. I remember very clearly my son being very fascinated by buttons and music. So every time that would be switched on, he would run to it and he would go on to that. He was very tiny to be on the treadmill, but he did it, and he did it beautifully. And that's when I realized that he can overcome his challenges also if we give him the right instruments, if we give him the right guidance, and if we give him the right kind of support. That is what we needed, that is what we got, that is what worked for us. Once that was done, we thought of getting him into a formal school. Now, formal schools are a big help and they are a bit challenging at the same time. Formal schools, in the sense, not just formal like that, but inclusive. We wanted inclusivity for him at every stage. We wanted inclusivity for him. We started looking rigorously. That was also a problem because some schools would deny that no, we don't take them. Some schools which have the facility will still deny, because I understand and we all understand that we have, I mean, this autism is really growing and we need so many schools for these children. It's very difficult to accommodate in inclusive schools as well. But if schools try, they can do so. And we found one very good school for our son, and we were very happy the day he got into that school. He has been really taken care of. He's been really motivated there. What he has learned from school is amazing. He's sitting at the dining table with his friends to eat. He's forming a line to actually go to the dining room and take whatever is taken on the plate. Uh, with the just not breaking the line and staying there and saying things like okay, I will get one sweet and not two. He's very fond of two things. Everything should be two in life. So he's very fond of that, but now he's doing that. He's making sure that he is in sync with his friends in school and taking only one from there. So those things are coming to him, and they are beautifully coming to him. Another recent thing, he has been since he's joined the school, he's been able to participate in all the annual functions. That is the beauty of the school, of inclusivity. They take everybody. They take everybody to participate. It is not because that a child can't do it. They make sure the child does it. And this year he participated beautifully. He stood there, he sang the whole song, and he was on the stage for the whole time. So the contribution of school, one cannot negate. One needs that kind of schooling. One needs that kind of inclusivity, and we are looking for that kind of inclusivity from everywhere. It's not just in schools. We are looking at it from every angle. We want children to be invited to different birthday parties. We want children to be invited to different weddings with us, and we want to take them so that they are in that scenario. They learn how to behave in that scenario and they adapt to it. If we don't give them that opportunity, if you're hiding from people all the time thinking that what will so and so think, we'll never be able to help our children. This is something which is going to be a lifelong thing. They will need some kind of help. What we need to work towards is making them independent. We need to make them more carefree also. Not that people are judging them. They should not be feeling that by the end of it. We need to help them because they are in a situation where they will be compared to other children. It will always be there. We ourselves compare them certain times that, that child is doing this and he's not. But let him grow, let your child grow, because every step is going to be like that. Every step you will see different things coming up. And as I said, you have to overcome your fears. Our fear is always going to be that what is going to happen to the child after us. That is a question which is always going to remain in our mind. But then nobody knows. Nobody knows an answer for that. But all we can do is prepare him and prepare ourselves for that. So I think I would conclude that we all need to be very, very mindful. We all need to be very thankful for such children, because they are teaching us a lot. It's not just a journey of a parent, it's a journey of a child who's teaching the parent how to be a parent. I would request my husband to come and continue.
Hello everyone, I'm Amber and I'm a father of a 8-year-old autistic child. Uh, as Neha said, the journey has been very, very challenging, yet a very rewarding experience for both of us. It has been full of ups and downs, trials, but triumphs as well. Uh, so when we found out about the autism diagnosis about for a child, when we initially found about those red flags through a friend, that time I was going through a very, very rough patch in my career. The working hours were pretty long. There was a lot of stress in the job. My office was almost 40 kilometers away from home, so the traveling time was pretty long. And so when this part came to us, and this was like a rude shock to us, and it was a whirlwind of emotions and ran through us. We really didn't know what to do. The work stress plus the stress of the child, now it was all too much for us to handle. And but there was something which had to be done about it. Generally, between Neha and me, Neha is more of a emotional person. I am more of a practical person, and I realized that it will become very, very difficult if both the parents become over emotional. One of the parents has to be more steady, has to be more calm, and has to be more practical. So I took on that responsibility, that bit on me. I used to take a lot of pictures of my child, when he was small, and I used to put them into various folders. When he was 1 month, so all the photos related to 1 month in one folder, then second month, third month, all the way up to the time he was 2 years. And then after that, I started creating the folders for every 6 months of his life. And when we came to know about the diagnosis and the red flags, I started referring back to those old photos. And we realized that almost till the time he was 1.5 years old, he had not shown any red flags. He had fantastic eye contact. He used to smile at us. He used to point at things. So it's, I think, only somewhere around after 18 months that regression happened, and the signs of autism started showing up. And then after a few months, we were told about it. In our journey with a lot of therapists and therapy centers, we have come across certain centers where they try to misguide you and play on your fears. And unless you have that knowledge, you will always be you will always be scared, you will always be misguided. So it's very important to equip yourself with the knowledge. So that is what I started doing once we found out about autism. I started reading a lot. I started watching a lot of videos about autism. I started reading a lot of vlogs about autism. I purchased books on autism and I started referring to those. It was very important that we build a community of friends, of other people who were facing similar situations like ours. And so I found out about WhatsApp groups, got added to those groups, started connecting with those parents, started learning about their experience and their journey, and that really helped us. We were able to find out about some really fantastic and nice therapists and those therapy centers which could which went a long way in helping our child. I also looked for a new job where the commuting time would be lesser. And while I was going through the interview process, I was very transparent with the hiring manager about my child's situation, and that I would require some kind of a flexibility from time to time. My company has been very supportive. My manager has been very supportive. I think everybody who goes through this journey should make it very, very clear to their to their respective managers or wherever they are working about the challenges, because until and unless you hide it from them and you don't share it with them, they are not going to know about it and they are not going to support you. People all around us are very good and they will support us provided we open up about our challenges. So that is what I did. I didn't hide my situation. I was very transparent with my friends, with my colleagues, with my family members, and they all have been very, very helpful. They all have been very, very supportive. Now in our journey, Neha and I have had our share of disagreements. We have had a lot of fights also. I think every couple has those kind of fights, but in our case, it has been a lot. But it was all because we wanted the best for our child, and that common goal of providing the best for the child is what has united us as well. One of the scenarios where we disagreed a lot was when he was in the play school and we started his therapies as well. Uh, we were told by the therapist that the therapy, we should focus more on the therapies and less on the play school part, because in the school the child is going, in the play school the child was going and sitting in one corner, and somehow while the play school was a good place, somehow the teachers weren't equipped to handle a special child there, and we were kind of advised to withdraw the child from the play school as and then focus more on the therapy. So I decided that we should, take a 1 year break from school, from the play school, let the child catch up in his therapies, let him improve, let his eye contact and social skills and a bit of communication skills improve. And then when he's ready for school, we will put him in the school. That was a major disagreement between us. But what united us was the common interest and the common goal of, giving the best for a child. Raising a child with special needs is a very expensive proposition. Uh, Apart from the high therapy costs and other recurring expenses, the school fees, and a lot of other uh, unexpected treatments that go into the process, there is this uncertainty. One is never sure whether the child is going to be fully independent once he grows up. Will he be able to financially fend for himself when he becomes big? So that is always a question mark. So there is this unknown giant expense waiting for you somewhere in the future, which you are not sure of how big that is, and you have to prepare to face that giant expense or that big giant in the future. To face that giant, I kind of started preparing myself. I started doing little courses on financial planning, on investments, so that I could, have that kind of a portfolio or corpus built up for my child when he grows up. And even if he's not able to support himself fully financially, there is this money which is there for him. So I have done that kind of exercise. I have upgraded myself. I have skilled myself in that regard. As parents, maintaining a well-being is very, very important. I have seen a lot of parents whose children are on have special needs, but they kind of, you know, don't really take good care of themselves. They ignore their health. They ignore their mental peace, and all they kind of overdo and overexert themselves when it comes to supporting their child. Now these children with autism are very sensitive to the vibes around the environment they live in. If they can feel that the parents are stressed, if they can feel that the parents are, uh, you know, not happy, they will also not be very happy. You need to provide that happy and stress-free environment for your child at home. And for that, it is very, very important that as parents, we also stay healthy. We also are mentally at peace. So one way that we did that for us was through nature walks. I found out about this group which was used to go on nature walks every Saturday, and I joined that group, and I started going around uh, along with them to Aravali's. And every morning we used to go. Every Saturday morning we used to go for these walks. And when I went with them, I started building up a network of friends and other people who started from whom I started learning a lot of things. I learned about photography. I've learned about videography, and those Saturday walks became like a stress buster thing for me. And that is when I started my first YouTube channel called Nature Connection. And then I later started taking my son also on walks. Later, I started doing my own walks. I included a few other parents who had children on with special needs, and they also started joining us on these walks. And we were able to that became a regular part of our routine, and that has been very helpful. That has truly helped our son bond with us. And every time we come back from a nature walk, he's that day at least for that day he's very relaxed, very much at peace, and he sleeps really well. So we hope to continue our nature walks in the future as well. Building on the experience of my first YouTube channel, me and Neha decided to start another YouTube channel last year called Autism Parenting. It is a channel where we share our stories, our journey, and our learnings with the wider autism community, with parents, caregivers. We also learn a lot from them. So that has been a very, very important step, which I feel has immensely contributed to increasing my knowledge about autism, connecting with other parents, getting to know their experience. And every Sunday we post a new video and we connect with parents. And we hope to do that for a very, very long time. So one thing I've realized in my autism journey is that it has really deepened my capacity for love, understanding, and it has tremendously contributed to my patience levels, my emotional levels, my health. I think I'm more stronger, more wiser, more knowledgeable at the end of everything. And my son is truly my superpower. Finally, I would like to conclude by quoting a line from the famous 13th century Persian poet called Rumi. He said, "It's your light that lights up the world." So it's very important that in this journey, we as parents stay positive, hopeful, and everything will be all right at the end. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. I'm so happy that Josh Talks has brought this channel out where we can hear the stories of the incredible mothers and fathers of autistic children. I had somebody in my own family who was autistic. If you are the parent of a young child who has autism, please share your information with Josh Talks in the form below. This will help Josh Talks better understand the problems that you face and the content that needs to be created. Your information will be kept confidential. Only a few members of the team will have access to this data who will call you to have a short conversation with you.